Now, we know the power of music, and of course here at Erskine Veterans Radio we play a lot of music, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we know that the songs that we play, all of the songs we play, are special to different people in different ways. And that is the wonder of music. Music can take you back to a different place, a different time, evoke memories, cheer you up, all these kind of emotions as well. And an organisation called Playlist for Life have got a service where you can do just that. You can build a playlist for your life, to remember the times, the songs that are special to you, have them all in one place. And it can really help, particularly those suffering from the effects of dementia. So we're going to find out more about that right now. We've got Rebecca Kennedy joining us today, who's the Communities Officer. Welcome to Erskine Veterans Radio, Rebecca. Can you just start by telling us a little more about the service? What is Playlist for Life?
Yeah, so Playlist for Life is a music and dementia charity, and our aim is to enable everyone living with dementia in the UK to have a unique personal playlist of songs that are meaningful to them and that are important to them. And beyond that, we want everyone in that person's life who loves and cares for them to know how to use that playlist. Using music, it's not that difficult, it's simple enough. So we're really an enabling organisation. We want to get the word out there to people that music works, that it can help them. And we offer various support to people to kind of get them started.
What kind of music is good to include in a playlist? I mean, is there a particular sort of rule of thumb that people should think about when they're considering their songs, or how do you work it?
Yeah, so definitely no rules. Obviously, each person's playlist is going to be completely unique to them. What we would say is, favourite songs will feature on a playlist, but if someone loves Frank Sinatra, you maybe wouldn't put his whole back catalogue on a playlist. You want to find those songs that have, a particular memory or even just an emotion attached to them. And that can be quite an overwhelming prospect to think of a whole life of memories in music, but you can kind of think about particular areas that might be important. So songs from your youth, so perhaps music that was on when you were going to the dancing, when you were falling in love for the first time, all these kind of big moments that we go through in our youth. It can be music associated with hobbies. So if someone's a football fan, there might be songs from the football terraces. Faith music can be really important to someone, and that might feature on their playlist. As I said, music related to a person who's important to you in your life or the place you grew up. I think, particularly in the west of Scotland and the whole of Scotland probably, regardless of what age you are, the song Ali Bally, for example, would probably feature on a lot of people's playlists because it reminds us of maybe our parents singing to us when we were younger. So it doesn't have to be songs that you would listen to every day. It's songs that do give you that flashback. And even for people who don't consider themselves to be music lovers per se, music is everywhere. It's all around us all the time, even if we don't notice it. So, even if music doesn't feature heavily in your hobbies or in what you do every day, there's bound to be music attached to the memories in your life.
And this particularly aimed at those who are suffering from the effects of dementia, as well as everyone in general, of course. But what are the particular benefits for those with dementia in creating a playlist?
Yeah, so there's lots and lots of benefits of music in general, but particularly this personalised music. There's 20 years of scientific research, which I won't go into too much detail about now, but some of the main ones are things like reducing anxiety for people, improving their mood, just putting a smile on their face. It can, for some people, actually evoke memories or bring back abilities. I think lots of people will have seen this either for themselves or people in their family, where someone maybe doesn't communicate as well anymore, or perhaps needs a stick to walk. A particular song comes on and suddenly they're singing all the words, or they're up dancing without a care in the world. And that's really the beauty of it, as well as it's not just a benefit for people with dementia, but for families and carers as well, because they get to see that person kind of being themselves again, and it also helps them connect through the memories as well.
Now, many people listening to this might be a little bit intimidated by the technology aspect, by the fact that you've got to go online and put this playlist together. And for some of us, we might be quite confident with that, but not everybody will be. They might find the whole thing a little bit baffling slightly. You are there to support people in the process of making a playlist. What sort of support are you able to offer people who want to get involved in this, but are maybe a little bit hesitant because of the barrier of the technology there?
Yep, so we've got lots of free support on our website. A lot of it is resources that you can download that help you get started making a playlist. So they'll kind of prompt you with some of the things I mentioned earlier about, looking for songs that remind you of a particular person in your life. And those are great for getting families to connect through building the playlist. But we do also have lots of how-to videos that do focus on tech. So if someone wants to, use an MP3 player, but they're not quite sure which one to buy, we've got a guide based on, work that we've done with people with dementia and carers that kind of gives people a bit of advice. As I said, videos that show you how to download music onto an MP3 player or how to create a playlist on Spotify or something like that. So there's lots of guidance on the website, but we also run a free friends and family webinar on the first Wednesday of every month, which any family or friend of someone with dementia can join. And in that we go through the benefits of a playlist, but also how to track down the right music, how to get it onto a device. Though tech doesn't always have to be the be all and end all of a playlist, we do encourage people to listen in a way that's comfortable for them. So if that's digging out a record collection, that's fine. Even just sitting and singing to each other can be a really easy way to get music to someone. If people do feel like they need a little bit more support beyond that, we have a helpline where people can book a call with one of our volunteers, and they again can give a little bit more tailored advice on how to make the playlist. They can even help you kind of track down some tunes and then give advice on the best way for that individual to listen, because there's no right or wrong way to listen to a playlist. It's very much up to each person and what they're comfortable with.
And we've talked about the power of the playlists for those suffering from dementia, but really for anyone in a care setting, for all of us, music is a magic elixir, isn't it? And we've seen it with Erskine Veterans Radio, how it brings a smile to residents' faces and provides a talking point, but it really is powerful for everyone, isn't it?
That's so right. Music can really, and playlists in particular, can really enhance the care that's given. And we think that playlists should be integrated as part of care. Person-centred care is obviously something that's really important and is of growing importance, and you'd be hard pushed really to find something more person-centred than Playlists for Life. It's about choosing the right music for the right person, but also about introducing it at the right time as well. Regardless of whether someone is living with dementia or not, there might be points of the day, particularly in a care home setting, that they find difficult. And if a carer can introduce that music that's meaningful to them and that puts them at ease and just gives them a bit of familiarity back, then things like getting up in the morning or receiving personal care can become so much easier for resident and staff member. I actually used to work in a care home myself. I was an activities coordinator, and I saw music being used all the time. As you say, people weren't thinking, I'm using Playlist for Life, but it was things like one lady who was quite withdrawn, and sometimes if she was in a low mood, we would sing to her. You Are My Sunshine was her song, and her head would come up and she'd smile and she engaged with you, and she'd get up and dance, and then you could kind of dance with her over to the table or up to her room or wherever she needed to go. And it just made the situation more manageable and more fun for everyone involved. We actually provide training for healthcare professionals in lots of different settings, care homes, hospitals, care at home, and we've been told time and time again how much music has enhanced the life both of staff and residents. There was a care home in the north of Glasgow that we worked with, where when they introduced playlists to their residents, it had a massive impact on them, and they actually saw a 60% reduction in the use of drugs with those residents. And now the GP sort of prescribes playlists, uses it on their medical records, and the staff there reach for music before they reach for medicine. So yeah, there's lots of different benefits for everyone, from the residents and the families, and to the carers as well.
Wow, that's really powerful, isn't it? That, you know, to have such an effect there, that now it's almost being prescribed on the by the doctors. And if you were to build your playlist, then are there any particular songs that you would have on yours, just out of interest?
So many, it's always hard to pick one. Everyone at Playlist for Life, you know, regardless of what age we are, we've already started building our playlist, because we'd encourage everyone to get started on it regardless. But I think one I'll choose today is What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. Mm-hmm. And the reason I would pick that is it's actually a song probably from my dad's playlist. When I was born, when he got in the car after the birth, he turned on the radio and the first song that came on was What a Wonderful World. There's obviously a line in it about sort of babies cry and watch them grow. And so that was always, you know, really stuck in his head. And he's told me that story so many times that now when I listen to that song, it just really makes me think of my dad. So that's an example of a song that's kind of been passed down to me. And I do get a wee tear in my eye every time I listen.